So, welcome to Men on Empire. This is our recap of the season finale. This is a bonus program for you guys to see whether or not you like it or not. If it gets 1,000 views in a week, then we'll do Men on Empire. If it doesn't, well then right here.
It is. Reminisce.
So
Tony, there are people who don't know what we do and all that stuff. I know you're going to explain all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you mean? In what sense?
I mean, there's some people that are going to happen upon this video and like, why are these three guys talking about Empire?
Yeah. Well, we're three guys. We're radio guys. We worked together many years ago in St. Louis, but since we've we've remained friends, but we've all done our thing. And we started doing a show called Men on Scandal, where we recap every episode of Scandal from a male perspective, and then we'd also do a show called Men on Everything, where we talk about everything. And people have been telling us who watch our Men on Scandal shows we should do Men on Empire. We've been debating it pretty much all season long. It's very hard to get three guys' schedules together to be able to carve out time to do this.
We're so busy.
We're
as busy as Lucius Lyons.
Some of us are not as busy as we used to be,
That's true.
but some of us are hopeful to be busy again.
Yes.
But so we decided that we would see how this pans itself out and stuff like that. Mark had been telling us all season, we need to do Men on Empire. And he called us names and everything. So here we are on the last episode, which actually was two episodes.
That's right.
The first one was called Die But Once, was directed by Mario Van Peebles, and the second one, Who Am I, was directed actually by Debbie Allen.
Die But Once was, a lot of people don't know, Die But Once I Am was written by Yoda from Star Wars. Fan of Empire. Just for those, a little trivia there.
Right, got you. And away we go. Lucius, this episode starts out, Die But Once. Lucius is trying to compose. He's at the piano, and then his symptoms start flaring up, his ALS, and then he wants Cookie to help him with his writer's block, so he summons Becky, who is Gabrielle Sidibe, and Sidibe.
Yeah, that's right.
Sidibe. I always mispronounce her name. But she tells him that Cookie is unavailable. She's out of town. And this tribute concert is in 1 week. They're doing this tribute concert to Lucius because his life is ending because he has Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
And Cookie was supposed to be Cookie Lyons presents Lucius Lyon. And this is going to be the concert. He's going to perform. Going to be guest performers there, that whole thing like that.
This is it.
Yes.
So you heard Michael Jackson say that once. And it really
that's right. So he's writing songs and stuff, but he's stuck. Writer's block. He's looking for Cookie. Cookie is with his head of security, Malcolm. They're in the woods at a cabin.
Damn, Cookie in the cabin? Oh,
Cookie's
wait a
in
minute.
the cabin, man. And she's they're in the cabin, and she's going over paperwork about the concert. And Malcolm says, "Can we take a break?" And he says, "We'll go as fast as you want to go." And it's funny, man, because she like unbuttons Malcolm's shirt, and she goes, "Ooh, you work out."
Yeah. I love Cookie's ghetto essence. There were some options. There's some options Cookie could have said in their life. She could have said, she could open the shirt and go, "Ooh, you push weights?" That's one. Number two, ooh, you swole. That's keeping that ghetto essence going.
Yes.
Oh, you work out?
Well, you got a mixed audience watching this. It's at the top of the show too.
Yeah.
There's people in Kansas watching. They don't know what swole means, man.
Well,
that's true.
Those three words are three words that none of the three of us have heard in quite a while.
That's true. Yeah. Keep it real, Tony.
Yes, I have it right. It was actually I was in it was 20 years ago. I heard that.
Lucius,
I like the fact that he had on the obligatory denim shirt too. When you're in the woods, you gotta have your denim. Gotta have your denim shirt.
Gotta have the denim, man. Lucius gets served an injunction to stop the IPO. He wants to take Empire public. The initial public offering is scheduled, but it gets stopped. So, but he still is making plans for this big concert, and it's going to be Snoop's there, and Snoop does make an appearance in this episode, and there's going to be a point where Snoop and Hakeem are going to freestyle.
Boy, are they?
And go from there. And apparently when it comes time for Hakeem to freestyle, he does so, but he trashes Lucius and and then he drops the mic and walks away. He's still salty because of the Naomi Campbell. Was it Camille?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because Lucius gave her money to go away, and and then he finds out because he told Hakeem that she took the money and she didn't.
Right.
And so I guess he found out about this, so now he's mad
Well,
at his dad.
Hakeem is young and impressionable.
Yeah,
He's dating an older woman who's giving him that education. And he didn't want his classes to get cut short.
Man.
But apparently, Lucius ended the semester, and she headed back. She was a visiting professor.
Yeah.
She headed back home.
She headed back to university.
And he didn't get his certificate.
So when Hakeem trashed Lucius in his freestyle and walked away, the brother in the background, I ain't got nothing to do with that, brother Lucius.
Yes. Man, that's messed up, man. I want to be on this show really bad.
So Hakeem and his boys are walking away, and they walk down the corridor, down the hallway, and Lucius tracks him down and calls him out and punches him dead in the face. I mean, he hit him. I jumped back, man. And when I think I tasted blood, man.
I was kind of.
He loosened his soul up with that one.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
But
I was surprised by that one.
Hakeem recovers and he spits at his dad's feet, man. I guess does that mean something? That means like I can take this, man.
Yeah, Lucius was like, okay, take a punch.
Damn, man, it's moments like this that I wish my dad was in my life so I would know how that felt. Damn. If only he touched me once.
Man, Jamal and Hakeem talk about what happened and how wrong Lucius has done them over the years. If you had to pick an order as to just how wrong Lucius has been to his sons, would Jamal be first?
Yes.
What? Because of the garbage can incident?
Yes, by a trash can.
By a trash can.
Yes.
Man.
Yes, that's the coldest. That is the coldest thing ever, right there.
That was. That was pretty brutal. Hakeem plans on signing with another label. Probably Lucius, his nemesis. Beretti, yes. And Lucius is looking for Cookie still. Now her assistant lets it slip that Cookie is where Malcolm is, and then it hits Lucius.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because she was Cookie's assistant is terrible at what she does.
Yes.
You can't even cover for your boss? Really? That's like when you get hired to be somebody's assistant, that's the number one thing. Your job is to protect me.
Yes. But the key word in the word assistant is ass. That's exactly what she is acting like right there.
Yeah.
Ass.
Yeah.
And what she does have also. She got a big ass.
Yeah.
Gotta write about that.
Well, yeah. Andre visits the church, and he realizes this feels good to be here.
Yeah.
I feel it feels really good, right?
Does it?
That's what his mouth say.
or does it feel good looking at Michelle while you're at the church?
Yeah. So Cookie brings her sister to Empire to show her around, and she's stopped by security. And she tells Lucius that he can't kick her out because she's on the board of directors. And Lucius says, woman, when your son, basically he says, when your son, our son, Andre, set this whole thing up about the board of directors, he already knew that a convicted felon can't be on the board of a publicly traded company. You ain't never been on the board.
Damn.
You never been on the board.
Damn.
Have you guys ever noticed how Carol looks at Lucius? Like she looks at him like I'm next. Have you ever picked? Have y'all ever picked up on that?
Well, or I'm next. Or
we it was a long 17 years.
You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, every time he sees her, Lucius sees Carol. Carol, I hope you enjoy your time in New York City. It's good to see you again.
Yeah. Good eye, Tony. Good eye, guys. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a setup for a comeback.
So Cookie has 15 minutes to clear out of her office and take her personal belongings. And Malcolm shows up in her office, and Malcolm says, I want you to come with me. Mm-hmm. And she's like, where? He's like, to Washington, D.C. I got this high-level government job and security, and let me take care of you. And that was her out, man, to away from that life. But
good government job,
but that is
contract, girl.
But that is her life though, and she tells him, "I can't walk away from this."
That's right. It's just too much. It's too much ghetto-ish for me to get into to leave this. Come on now. I can't leave this drama.
Right.
We need a second season.
So Andre tells Lucius that he's out as CFO, man. I'm gone. I'm a bounce, man. Because he says, "I found God," and Lucius says, "What do you know about God? There's no higher purpose than being a maker of music. What do you know about God?" Man. I know that's acting, but when you got to deliver lines like that, man, I'd be scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be scared.
The funny thing is, Barry Gordy and Puffy were at a party. They drank at that moment. They're like, "You damn right. You damn right, right, Puffy? You damn right." Huh? What? Is that? Oh, it's not.
Man. At Jamal's party, Lucius tells Jamal that he has writer's block. And he tells Jamal he believes that Jamal has what it takes to run Empire if he's got that monster in him.
Right.
Got to have that monster, man.
That monster. Is that like rah, like a Dungeon Dragon monster?
No.
Well, I think Jamal was confused because Jamal was going like the old term. He's like, "Oh, no, I've been tested. I don't have a monster." No, not that. Not that monster. And we don't say that anymore.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
No. So Jamal and Lucius go to Carol's house to work on music. And Lucius, of course, brings up the trash can incident. And then he tells him, "At least you walk like a man." Now, you need the man. You need your son's help. Why would you say that to him? You're looking for his help. You're desperate. You're desperately needing an infuse of ideas, and then you tell him, "At least you walk like a man." Really? Come on, man.
Ain't nothing changed, man.
Yeah,
man.
The first Terrence Howard impression from Troy Johnson. Yes, very well done.
I'm trying. That's a hard one to do,
man.
That's good. You did good, man. But yeah, I think that what makes it work to me is that Terrence Howard or Lucius, whatever, he acts just like a jerk dad would act. That old school anti-gay, all those comments, all those actions.
Yeah.
He has that down perfectly, man.
Yeah. It's messed up though. They went back to the hood and the trash can was in the same place.
With the same trash in it.
Damn. So wait a minute. The trash can is in the same place.
Same spot.
And the lights are still on in the house.
Hey, you never know, man. Things can drastically change.
Boy, oh boy.
So they talk. They make music. Yeah. Jamal actually, he thinks he knows Luke. He has no idea what his father really has been through, and what his father has accomplished, good and bad. He really has no clue. If you think about it, he thinks he knows, and he smarts off to his father and stuff like that. But he has no idea really who Lucius Lyon is, other than he's your father. And he's this music mogul. I don't think he really knows or understands everything that came to be so that Lucius could be this mogul.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
but he I think he has to gloss past that because understanding who he is, it would take too long. He just wants to connect with him.
Right.
He does know that, we connect musically. We connect, from a passionate standpoint.
I mean, that's the thread, right? That's the common thread.
Yeah.
It's really not their DNA. It's their passion for music.
Yeah.
Is what it really is. So, and Lucius grabs the guitar and he starts strumming the little Latin flavor thing, right? And it's like, okay, all right. And then he starts singing. Lucius sounds like Tone Loc if Tone Loc sang. I was waiting for him to go, "Funky Cole Medina." But he does tell Jamal if he wants Empire, you're going to have to get those masters back from Beretti.
And, on a side note, I think the thing about this show that, I got the controversy and people think it's a setback, all that stuff. The thing I think they do great is it's a musical, basically, and they weave in and out of that very well.
Yeah.
Because that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That is really hard to do.
It's like a gangster Glee.
It's right, and the
Didn't 50
music
say
is,
that? 50 said that, didn't he?
well, you know, and
That's
the
funny.
music is good.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard to do. And so the guy on the, you know, the guy with the improv, the brother who said, hey, you Lucius, you know,
Yeah.
he's the guy who's
Jim
in charge
Beams.
of that.
Yeah, Jim Beams. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in, yeah. So, but
Yeah.
you know, but anyway.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. The song had a "Whoop That Trick" reference.
Yeah, did you see that?
Like, okay.
And they laughed.
Yes.
That was their homage. So,
There's so
yes.
much.
Yeah, so Cookie and Carol show up at Lucius' mansion. And Lucius says to Cookie that he overreacted on when he kicked her out of the building and told her she had 15 minutes to clear out. And Cookie tells him about Hakeem's plan to sign with Beretti. And Lucius has to swing into action because Jamal was going to meet Hakeem over there because Jamal, he goes to this party or whatever it was where Hakeem was, where Beretti was, and there's women in bikinis playing pool. Is that what they do? I'm so. Is that what happens now, man?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Play pool.
Tony, quit playing. You've been to a Toss and Ted party. Quit playing.
Tony's being modest. When he went to the parties, they weren't wearing bikinis.
No, they were not.
Yeah.
Well. Jamal hangs Beretti over the balcony and threatens to drop him unless he signs over the Masters forever.
What are my office hours? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong
Yes.
movie.
So-
That gets the most unbelievable scene of the season. That's okay. It's okay. We're going on.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Lucius,
Jamal has that edge to him. You know,
He
does
does
not,
have the edge.
Yeah, but
he
he-
doesn't back down.
he don't have that strength to hold a man over a balcony like that.
That
You
is
know,
true.
come on, man. He's got puny little arms.
He would Tony. He could anything is possible when you work from your diaphragm.
Oh, okay. I see. I didn't.
He learned it.
Yeah,
Learned
see.
as a
That's
singer.
Okay.
And he does. Well, you know what? And he does have that monster in him. So who knows how much strength he really has.
Well, that's true
And-
too. You're right.
Sidelight, Tony.
You're right.
Just a sidelight. Cookie and Carol, they can get it. They can get it. They appeal to my ratchet side. I'm gonna say that. Cookie and Carol,
Yeah.
Y'all go ahead.
I heard that.
You had to choose one.
Well,
Yeah. Well, when I say they could get it, I'm talking in theory because
But if you had to
You know me.
choose, if you
Oh, I
had to
have to choose
choose
one?
yeah,
I'm probably going Carol.
I'm with you too, man.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Tony?
And she got a
Yeah.
twin.
Carol. Yeah, Carol. Carol looks like she's yeah.
Got
Oh.
to clean her up. Got to clean her up a little bit though. She is kind of ratchet.
So Lucius is walking around this party because he shows up where Jamal and Hakeem are, where Jamal hanging Beretti over the balcony and things like that, and Jamal tells Lucius to walk away. You don't need to be a part of this. You go walk away, right? Basically, he's showing that I can do this. I can run Empire, right? So Lucius is walking around. He walks in behind in a room, and he sees Hakeem getting it in with Boo Boo Kitty, with Anika.
Anika. Well,
Yeah. Man.
Look-
And they stop and acknowledge that he's watching them, and then they go right back to it.
Hey.
That's like the ultimate insult, isn't it? It's like, damn, they didn't even. I mean, they just stopped for a second. They went back in, right?
Or,
Man.
you know,
I was like, wow.
You know, Anika's so fine. Anika's so fine. Even your daddy's like, yeah, go ahead, son. Can I really be mad? Can I really be mad and even talk about this?
Right.
She bad.
She
Go
bad.
ahead.
She bad, man. So the next day, Lucius' doctor tells him that he doesn't have ALS. He has MG, myasthenia gravis. And he puts her out. He says, "You misdiagnosed me. You got this. You didn't test me for this. Get out. Get out of my house." Because he's not dying. That's the good news,
Yes.
right? And Lucius goes to see Andre at church. He wants Andre back in the fold. He's got. I don't know if he's the fact that he realized he's not dying, whether he actually has turned a new leaf or he's just playing it up and making it work to his advantage. I kind of think that's what it is.
Oh, you know what it was.
But Lucius pitches Michelle Jennifer Hudson about singing with him for him at this event, basically offering her deal, and she takes it. In fact, Andre says, "My father is the devil, and you just spread your legs for him."
Damn.
I was like, "Wow, that's powerful."
Well, don't be saying spread your legs in church. Don't Only the minister can say that.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
No. So Lucius is back. His male nurse, Lucius's nurse, is explaining to him what's going to be happening in the near future as far as like his health and stuff like that. You're going to be okay. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy road, but you know, I got you some sleeping pills that are very powerful. Mm-hmm. So you should take these when you're ready to go to sleep. And he says, I ain't slept. Give me the pills. Bring me some water. So he takes the pills, man. And in his sleep, you know, Cookie walks in the room thinking that, you know, he's just got his eyes closed, basically. But he blurts out that he killed Bunky.
Damn.
You know? I mean, he's seriously, I don't know if he's dreaming, hallucinating, or both.
He's hallucinating. And I thought the nurse said that this, because the medication is powerful, there's going to be some, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I said make sure you're going to be asleep, because there's no telling what could happen with these things.
It's like Tony, have you ever had Ambien?
No.
I took Ambien and then I braided my daughter's hair while I was asleep. You gotta be careful. I was braiding. It was like, I didn't know. It was like, you gotta be careful. I think Lucius had that going on.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So Cookie tries to smother Lucius because she's so mad at him. She can't wait for him to die. She doesn't know that he was misdiagnosed, so she tries to smother him, but she can't.
She's in a rage because she just heard that her cousin was killed by this man. Yeah. And he let out a few other secrets too, just completely unaware of what he was saying.
Yeah.
And she heard all of it.
She heard it all. He was saying it all. I wore high heels too when I was a boy. You know, it's like, you know, it's like, what? Wait, what? Wait a minute. What the hell? My daddy put me in a garbage can.
He was like, Cookie knows she need to wear Spanx when she wear that white dress. Ooh, you're gonna die.
Oh man.
So Lucius calls the family together. Now we're in the next episode. And Lucius calls the family together to give them presents in these black boxes. He tells his sons he was misdiagnosed and that he's not dying. And he acknowledges the harm that he brought to his sons over the years. And then he tells them, open up your presents. Hakeem, he gets some a gold wing kind of piece of jewelry and a jet. He gets a jet. He got Creflo Dollar's jet.
Yes.
You know?
Was it that easy?
You know?
I don't wear jewelry, but that was a hell of a piece right there.
That was a piece, wasn't it? Yeah.
Damn, even the Jesus piece was jealous.
Yeah. Andre gets that gold cross and $100 million to start the charitable foundation.
Andre is a hater. Yeah, $100 million. Yeah, great.
Yeah, thanks.
Got a plane.
Thanks.
Yeah, I want the company.
Yeah. Jamal gets Empire. Right?
Wow.
Cookie gets a pillow. That right there was Lucius' way of knowing, I know what you tried to do, Heifer. I know what you tried to do. That was so cold, man.
She had nothing to say.
Troy, what was the call that Lucius made to order the pillow?
I'd like to have a small box, please, with a pillow inside for my hating-ass wife.
So the sons get together and meet.
Can I order a pillow, please, for the Cookie Monster?
So Andre, Jamal, and Hakeem meet to talk about what happened. And, you know, of course, Hakeem and Andre are jealous that Jamal has Empire.
Right.
And then Jamal tells Hakeem that he wants to push Hakeem's album back. But, you know, Hakeem is insistent. No, the album was supposed to come out the day the IPO went public. And Jamal actually makes the most sense because he says, look, my album's still hot. Wait for it to die down. That way, you know, you'll get everything their album deserves because it'll be out there by itself. So let's wait. And, of course, Hakeem don't want to hear that, you know. And Andre's like, you know, he is the hater. Man, shut up. Shut up.
What happened to him and Jesus, man? Him and God supposed to be tight. What happened?
They fell out, man. What happened?
He gave a Brubaker on Empire. Imagine that.
No. So Cookie and Jamal and Lucius meet, and Lucius changes the deal to let Cookie back in the company that he had made because Cookie tried to kill him. And when he tells that to Jamal, his son, Cookie says, "You know your daddy is a pathological liar." And then Lucius says, basically he shows him the video. And he shows him the video. He hits the play button, sits in his chair. He's like, "Checkmate, bitch." Like, what? I was like, who wrote that? Who wrote that line? Did he ad-lib that line?
That was the ad-lib right there.
I was like, come on, man.
But she didn't really try to kill him though.
She did try to kill him, and Jamal sees that.
But that wasn't a try. He grabbed her hand and that was it. That's not a try.
Yeah, she couldn't do it. It wasn't that she couldn't do it. He stopped her.
Right.
I don't know about that, y'all.
He did.
She was like, oh, I'm about to kill you. Oh, Lord. Okay. She was in prison for 29 years. If she went, okay, okay, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah. So Vernon's out of rehab.
Yay.
Vernon's out of rehab. The feds pick Cookie up. They want Cookie to help bring Lucius down, and she tells them, "No, I fulfill my obligation to y'all. Mm-hmm. I ain't helping y'all do anything.
I'm not a snitch." Even
though, she took a 17-year bid for Lucius.
Damn.
But she says, she's not going to help the feds do that to Lucius. So
tell the FBI lady she don't need to wear a badge that says FBI. Simmer down, white lady. We know you. You're the only white lady on the show. You're only two white ladies. We know you the cop. We know you the FBI.
Hakeem tells Anika that he wants Empire. He wants to run Empire. She tells him, "You ever heard of a hostile takeover?"
No, because I don't go to school much.
So at this press conference,
can I write it in my head? Can I write it on my head? HOSTILE. Oh, too long.
So at this press conference where Lucius and Jamal are, they're talking about the show, this big show, and here comes Black Rambo. He's a rapper. Black Rambo's apparently pulling out of the show because he doesn't want to work for a label that's run by a gay man.
It's the death of hip hop.
Yes, the death of hip hop, right?
Obviously, Black Rambo is not paying attention to the record industry.
Yeah. Cookie pitches Hakeem about doing their own thing. "I did it once, I can do it again. Let's build our own empire." I mean, just because you did it once don't mean you can do it again.
Yeah. Simmer down, Cookie.
But Cookie, Andre, Hakeem, and Anika meet to strategize about this hostile takeover, and here it comes, man.
Yes.
Cookie and Anika throw down. They throw down. And I gotta say, Anika got some shots in, man. She got some, but the move was when Cookie threw her on top of the pool table and just started pummeling her and then banging her head on the wooden part of the pool, the edge. I was like, man. But when Anika got that first lick in, she goes, "Who's Boo Boo Kitty now, bitch?"
Yes. And props to Anika. Actually was trained at the Jack and Jill School of Fighting. So it was good to see.
She used the Queensberry rules of boxing.
Yeah, she was trained at the Jack and Jill / AKA School of Fighting. So it was good to see her get that in.
Well, that was a pretty epic fight. That was some serious stuff, man. And,
but we wanted the real life flavor where somebody's boob pops out. That's what you get.
Yeah, well, I can't. That's what 50 says. I can do that on my show Power that's on Stars. They can't do that. Or as he would say, "They can't do that."
And you know what? 50 is absolutely right, but 50, sorry, they got you, dude. They got you.
They got everybody, man. So Black Rambo is out battling MCs, taking on all takers. Anybody who wants to take him on with the freestyle thing, kind of like the homage to 8 Mile, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yes, and then Jamal shows up to battle
and says, "What about me?"
I was just thinking that. I said, "How you gonna show up at an MC battle like that and Black Rambo, and then you get beat by a dude who's singing? He sings his battle to you, and then at the end he goes, 'Bitch.'"
That was taken from a real battle, Kool Moe Dee versus Freddie Jackson in 1985 in New York.
Oh man. Oh.
Man. That was crazy, man. So Vernon meets up with Cookie and tells her why Lucius killed Bunky. You know, doesn't make it right, but she wanted to know if he knew about. He tells her what happened, right? Vernon's that guy. He's that uncle, man, who like you're talking to him and he's like, yeah, well, let me tell you something, man. You know, he's that uncle. Like, what's up, baby?
What really happened?
Yeah.
And why do we know? Though we don't know, why do we know that Bunky had bad breath? We know Bunky had bad breath.
Yeah.
We knew it.
Yeah.
No joke. Bunky rhymes with funky.
No. Vernon goes to see Andre. You're like a son to me. You're like a son to me. They fight. And Andre's wife, I can't think, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Andre's wife. It just escapes me all of a sudden, but she pops Vernon on the back of the head with some kind of candle thing or something. Anyway, she kills Vernon.
It looks like that scepter Jamal had.
She killed Malik Yoba. How you can't kill Malik Yoba?
It was the same thing that Angie Stone hit her daughter with, actually.
So Andre's trying to call the police to
Ouch.
report it because and she's trying to stop him, and he says, "But it was self-defense." Yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, but they may not see it that way."
And you got an IPO, and it's gonna be bad press. Why do people do this?
Yeah.
Why is there ever a question about? No, we should not call the police. Really?
No, Tracy. I look at it the other way. I like the fact that a white woman has been you marry a black guy, you take on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Then
my white sensibilities are yes, call the police. But if they're married to you, no. This is what we gonna do.
she stops him though when she tells him that she's pregnant. That stops him.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, okay, I'm gonna be blessed with a child, but if they don't believe me, I'm gonna go to prison. I'm not gonna be able to hold my child. So that stops him dead in his tracks. So the IPO goes down, man, and they're all there. They're all there.
Hey, where's Vernon?
Yeah. Well, except for Vernon. So now we're at the concert. The tribute.
But wait a minute. Is Vernon dead?
That's the thing. Well, he said he had no pulse, and he was bleeding out pretty good.
He was bleeding out pretty good.
He was bleeding out. So at this tribute concert, Michelle, Jennifer Hudson's character, she performed. Doesn't she seem like she's shocked about what's going on stage while she's singing? She has that look on her face. I don't know if that was part of the act or she just was overwhelmed by what was going on. Or maybe it hit her that she just sold her soul to the devil for a recording contract because she left the church once she got this deal. I don't know.
She looked like she was enjoying that performance. I don't know, Tony.
Lucius is in the dressing room, and Jamal goes back there to ask him if he's ready. And Lucius tells Jamal about Dwight Walker.
My real name is Dwight Walker.
Oh man.
And they actually have a father-son moment, And he tells him, he says, "I always loved you, I just didn't understand, you being a homosexual." that's when you're old school, right? When you use no one says homosexual anymore. I remember who was that on David Letterman one time, and they told David Letterman he no one says homosexual anymore, man. Nobody says that anymore, But they do have a pretty nice father-son moment, though. They really do.
It was nice because Jamal cut him off like, yeah, I got it. You sounded like you're like a hip hop Archie Bunker right now. Don't say anything else. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Don't let this turn. No, we don't want this to take a wrong turn. So
Man.
thanks, Dad. Thanks.
So Lucius is arrested for killing Bunky.
Damn.
What's his name? Marcus Bunky Williams. Right. And then as Lucius is being escorted out in handcuffs, he sees Hakeem and Andre and Cookie, and he realizes they have a plan. But then the FBI agent tells her partner that Vernon's disappeared. We got to find Vernon. He is the most important witness that we have. So I'm wondering. I guess she turned Vernon instead of turning Cookie because Cookie said no. I guess she turned Vernon. Is that the deal? Because she said that's our most important witness, which was going to be Cookie until she said no. But So Vernon has disappeared.
And why wouldn't Vernon turn on Lucius? He took it. He cut him out of the company. He basically threatened his life. Why wouldn't he?
Well,
He's from the streets. He knows how the streets get down.
You know why he wouldn't? I mean, why he's conflicted and why Cookie is conflicted in these situations is because whatever semblance of family they thought they had, we all we got, CMB.
Yeah.
So he's like, when it comes down to it, they side with the family.
Right.
Even with all the scars, the loyalty is there.
Well, and Lucius is in jail, and he's he says game time, bitches. That's how it ends, because apparently now it's on now. Y'all got me locked up now, and I'm gonna get out of this.
But his cellmates weren't happy. They thought it was a challenge. What? What did you say? Oh, what you say? Who is that?
I'm just doing a closing monologue, man. That's all. Don't worry. Let me finish this scene.
Yes.
Oh man, there you go. So
you can hire Troy at parties if you like to hire radio shows.
That's
Troy's
right.
Available.
That was the season finale. 2 episodes actually run back to back, because when they rerun them later this summer, they can run them in 1 hour increments. So Die But Once was the first one, and Who Am I was the second one. So
you can insert. Fox is going to be able to insert one of those hipster white comedies in between each one over the summer. That aren't going to get renewed after the first year.
Right.
You can put that in there, and then
Well, that's true too. So, did I miss anything, fellas?
Tony, as with any program that we do collectively, spot on, man.
Oh, spot on.
When men are on, whatever we're on,
we're spot on.
We get it right.
Yeah, well, there you go. So appreciate you checking us out. Like I said, we also do a show called Men on Scandal that we've been doing for a couple of seasons now, and we were retweeted by Shonda Rhimes once. So we bought our business, man.
So our goal is to get retweeted by Lee Daniels. And you know what? Shout out to Lee Daniels. This show, love it or hate it, I thought of you, Troy, because it tackled mental health. It tackled, the whole homosexuality thing and relationships between men and family. It tackled a whole bunch of things, and it remained hip. It was entertaining, and I think it was quite an amazing season, historic season.
And only 12 episodes. Only 12 episodes, right? Usually it's 22 or more, 22, sometimes between 22 and 24. This was only 12. And I was reading yesterday, last week it was 14.9 million. This week it was 16.5 million, Mark. But in certain demographics, over this 12 episode span, they grew their audience 68%. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is, but can you imagine starting a business January 1st, and by April 30th, you have grown 68%? Anybody would love that.
Yeah.
And the thing that's interesting, I think also, it's like it's not just black people watching this show.
Oh no.
Though, but it's weird how they don't really talk about that though.
Yeah.
They kind of almost image it that it's a black people thing, and it really isn't.
Well,
because the numbers show that it's not.
Here's the thing.
It shows that because that's who's watching. You go home, you can watch wherever you want to.
Yeah.
Now, black folks may be driving the conversation on social media,
right.
And that's why you have, the view that it's two different things.
Right. Well, here's the thing that'll be interesting also. This next TV season are how many Empire copycats are there going to be? Because TV is all about copying whatever is hot.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever's hot, you copy. Even to some degree, How to Get Away with Murder, black woman in the lead. Where'd they get that from? Got it from Olivia Pope and Scandal, right? So,
right.
I mean, and so what will happen now is there going to be another on broadcast TV, on network television, is there going to be another Empire type show? Will it be Will it be set in the world of a magazine? Will it be another record label? It'll be set in something similar, because everybody's going to try and catch. This is the hot thing. It's like the classic hip hop radio format, right? It's taken the country by storm. Now everybody wants to do it.
Tony, I just hope that they don't use the template of a huge, airplane conglomerate, basically Soul Plane. As long as that doesn't happen, I'll be fine. If that happens,
Well, I didn't want to say
curtains.
anything, guys, but actually, CBS is talking to me. I'm supposed to star as Bear Bronson, and I'm going to be the owner of a radio station.
Oh.
And but I didn't want to say anything, so look for that. I also, on a serious note, I'm curious about how Power does now, you know, because it was first.
Yeah.
And as 50 has been saying, and they're
Right.
promoting their
Yeah.
new season.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see, are people going to hop on Power now and the benefit? I think so.
Well, I mean,
doubt it.
first thing that comes to mind of what Power can do that Empire can't do because it is a cable show. One is the nudity, and two is the N word.
Yes.
but you know the other thing is not everybody has cable.
I've never seen Power because I don't have that channel.
I haven't seen it because I'm not looking for it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind checking it out, but
I'm not interested.
I don't
but,
have cable, so I don't have that cable, that channel, that tier.
I'm catching up from last season, and I'm riding this season.
This could be
because-
just enough for people. Empire could be just enough. You know, it's salacious enough, but it's not doesn't cross a line per se.
Yeah.
You know, you could, you know, with a couple of sit downs with your kids about, okay, you know, in our family we don't put you guys in trash cans. If you can explain that away, maybe you can watch Empire, but you can't watch these other shows.
But then on some kind of strange kind of level, you know, Empire may actually help Power. Even though it came out after Power, you know, people may go back and say, "Well, this Power thing, what was that about? Let's go check that out." Right? So it could help it out. So there you go. So appreciate you guys.
Tony, before we go, Mark mentioned the fact that it did Empire this season covered a lot of ground, covered a lot of topics. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't address auto-tune. Apparently, I mean, can we cut down on the auto-tune a little bit, please?
Well, there's always next season. So
and let's also limit Lucius Lyon's singing.
His Tone Loc sound, man.
Let's trim that back a little bit.
Cut it back a little bit. So
just a little. I'm just saying.
All right.
You know.
We appreciate you checking out Men on Empire. If you can leave a comment, a thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It is so appreciated. If you'd like to be a patron of ours and help support the channel, you can do so by going to patreon.com. There's actually, like, if you look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen you're watching, you'll see like a little eye in a white circle. You can click that. It'll drop down a menu for Patreon. And I think for fan funding, if you just want to do something with Google Wallet and kick in a couple of dollars to help offset the cost of this program. All right, look at some other shows, things like that. All that will, when you hit that little button, it'll drop down. So thanks for watching again, Men on Empire. For Troy Johnson in Washington D.C. and Mark Clark in the Big Apple, New York City, I'm Tony Scott in St. Louis, and we'll see you next week with our other show, Men on Scandal.